So I see a lot to do the last couple days around forgiveness. So many people talking about forgiveness, asking, how to forgive and move on, how you can forgive when you just really can't seem to be able to do that. And I'm so happy this conversation is being had, because forgiveness is a bridge to unconditional love within ourselves. So if we want to experience true love for ourselves, we need to be able to forgive. It's that simple. So with forgiveness, I see a lot of time people losing track of, like there's a situation that occurred involving someone else. And what happens is there's a story. There is one perspective of what happened. And it is this perspective that is causing us to feel wronged and is causing us suffering. And now I do want to make a little distinction here between more like everyday situations, with when we're living our day-to-day life, with people that we're interacting with, and overall just things that can occur in that setting. Versus, stuff that may happen once or twice in a lifetime, and it's still important to have forgiveness for that. If you were assaulted in some way or abused in some way, like in those senses. Today, I just want to talk about forgiveness in relation to people that we really, choose to engage with. So yeah, we hold on to one perspective, one story, and this story causes us, anger and frustration and resentment and grievance. And we just kind of lose sight of the fact that this perspective, this story was probably born out of us already having a wound. And that person and their behavior kind of rubbing salt in that wound. And so this is not to say, that you need to forgive someone else's behavior. Sometimes other people's behavior sucks, other times it doesn't. It doesn't really matter. When it comes to forgiveness, you really need to understand that this is something you're doing for yourself. In the truest sense, it's a very selfish thing that also really helps the other person. So it's a win-win. But in the end, you're doing it for yourself. You're making a declaration and actually proving that it's not just, lip service. You're actually doing this. That inner peace and well-being and love is more important to you than having a petty fight or argument or this or that. And when these situations come up, it can be very easy to think, no, this is not petty. This one is really, really serious. This one, I will not forgive. I cannot forgive. Well, again, in that moment, you are choosing to let a story come in between you and your inner peace. In between you and the only source of love that will ever actually feed you and nourish you and never leave you. So when it comes to forgiveness, be willing to try on a new perspective. At least be open to the idea. Ask the universe, ask God, ask your higher self, ask whatever, shoot it out into the ethers. I am willing to see this differently. I don't know how, but I truly want to forgive this person, so help me. And of course, you yourself can do a little digging around and ask yourself why this really hurt. What is the real reason? Is it because they left? Is it because they said something shitty? Is it because this? Or is it because they made you feel a certain way, and that feeling actually confronted you with how you feel about yourself? Not good enough, not smart enough, not funny enough, not worthy enough. Any of those things. And you'll usually find that the answer is yes, and you can simply resolve the issue in here. And once you can resolve it at the core level of you not feeling good enough in whatever way, shape, or form. And then we can move forward having, healed this little piece in ourselves. Also understanding at the same time that another person's behavior is a reflection of them and not of you. The reason you get triggered is because you feel just as shitty as they do. So have some compassion for people who have certain behavior. And then lastly, take it a step further and realize that these people are in your life for a reason. Law of attraction, which is not a good or a bad thing. It's not like, oh, it's your fault you attracted them. No, it's a good thing you attracted them. It's a good thing that they showed you where you didn't love yourself enough. And that's all. That's why a lot of us come into each other's lives. So yeah, forgiveness. Keep talking about it. Keep thinking about it. Keep, praying for the ability to forgive. Keep training yourself. Keep practicing forgiveness. And you're doing yourself and the world a big service.